Hello! We have life! Why do you know? Sometimes the PC functions the way it's meant to. Not very often, but sometimes. Bonker junk. Yeah. eBay come, what a nightmare. You know what, this joke is getting sufficiently old that I'm going to do that. So yeah, that's annoying. My interface decided it didn't want to work for some reason, but it has now been persuaded otherwise. So there's a relief. I thought for a minute we weren't getting anywhere, and then I booted everything up and nothing seemed to work, and that was really not good. So, it is now working. I think. Hopefully. We've got music, and also my Stream Deck decided it wasn't going to work as well, so I'm assuming the problem is my PC being a useless hunk of shite rather than anything else, but we are actually rolling now, so there's a relief. Dear me. Been hunting around for footage most of the day, so had some progress there. It's not gone quite the way I was hoping for. Did the same thing yesterday, actually. It's been rather frustrating, but we get there eventually. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hopefully Tainted Grail will work properly. See how we do. Looks promising. So we're going to go and assist the Delriata tribes with their various issues. They're big, bad, independent tribes who don't like outsiders, but apparently they're also completely fucked and need that one random dude who wanders through their mountain range to solve all their shit for them. So, you know, it do be like that, doesn't it? Right. I did play a bit of this over the weekend, just not long though, only a couple of hours. Not even that, really. I didn't think it was going to work then. Looks like it is. Let's be off. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I was not vibing yesterday, so decided to take a pass. I was rather... yeah, just not in the mood for it, you know. It would not have been fun. Doing a bit better today. Still a bit tired, though. So, yeah. Sleep is not ticking the boxes it needs to, unfortunately. We will manage. Right. We are... yes, where are we? We are up at the Xion tribe's village, and we've got a whole load of stuff to do for them. As apparently they can't wipe their own arse without my help. Despite being fiercely independent and so on and so forth. So, what have we got? We've got the unfolding, what grows from grief, prey of the father, and the trial. Oh yeah, this is the missing researcher for the Alchemist Guild that I need to find. So it's not actually related to the struggles of the clan, but it's the first thing we're going to hit, so we shall be doing that. Go put a shirt on you, Bellend. You're in a frosty mountain range. Supposedly, you can turn that questing beast of mine, that pet, into excuse me, into a mount and ride him. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. How's it going, Tangy? Right? So he was supposedly somewhere down here. Look at a skilled fella. It's exactly a sporting way to hunt, is it? Some kind of... what's my phone making so much noise? It should be on silent. Not on silent. It is not on silent, that's why it's making noise. Delriata runestone jobby, apparently. Got a bit further ahead to go. That's all right then. It's pretty sunset. Oh yes. A strange cursed knight that I have summoned. What was the deal with this guy? Dolph Jonkier, conducting research in the territory of the Sven tribe. We're supposed to be. Here's the house apparently he's living in. Very Viking. Got in here. A few bits to sell. See what's in his hut. Oh, somebody's here. Need his bucket. Do need a bit of light though. Oh yeah. Acquired some random boots from somewhere, didn't I? I can go. Cool. So that's like healing. Yeah. I must have to keep this bloody spell out in order to the torch out. I can't see shite. There's definitely a bit of a Battle of Winterfell issue going on here. You know, one of the last episode of last season of Game of Thrones, when nobody could see anything. They did 2 weeks of night shoots, and then nobody could see what they shot. And the DP was very insistent that the dark and spookiness was part of the plan. None of which was worth a damn when your visual medium lacks visuals, though. Nice try, dude. You fucked it, and you're not going to talk your way out of it. Anyway, what's in his cellar? Anyway, my point being, it's a bit gloomy. Respawns was asking me about this game the other day. He's thinking about picking it up for his shiny new PS5. So, Dolph. Dolph Jonker, right? Armor sent me.
That's me. It's true. It's been a while since we last communicated. She must be wondering what's been going on with me. Well, she'll have to forgive me.
You sound suspiciously vampire-like.
My current work is far more important than my obligations to the guild. That might sound arrogant, but it's the truth.
Really? What's that, man?
Kind that could be a breakthrough for humanity's survival on Avalon. Do you really think Kamelot can protect Avalon's people from the looming Wyrdness?
No, of course not. No, Kamelot's too weak. If anyone can do it, it's Kamelot. I don't know. It'll certainly be difficult. Don't care. I'm worried about myself. No, not a chance in hell. Kamelot's not got a chance.
I think so too. And it's not just their disorganization or corruption. It's their physical frailty. But I can change that.
Oh dear.
You see, the Dal Riata are far superior specimens of humanity compared to anyone else on Avalon.
A bunch of gimps
I'm
can't
trying
solve
to
their own
isolate
problems.
the essence of that superiority, both physical and spiritual. The formula I'm developing could transform humanity, making all people as strong and resilient as the finest Dal Riata, resistant to the Wyrdness. Perfect.
Yes, he's definitely got weird vampire vibes, maybe a little bit necromancer vibes, this fellow. On the other hand, it's like, oh, they're so superior. Yeah, these bunch of idiots have got themselves nearly wiped out in the mountains and are requiring some random wandering wizard to solve their shit for them. Only a wizard because he happens to be a wizard. This guy is, yeah. Sounds promising. Sounds like the ravings of a madman. What costs are you willing to pay to create this film? Sounds like the ravings of a madman.
To small-minded people, perhaps. Are you sure you want to count yourself among them?
No, I'm just
We're
smarter
at
than
a
you.
point in history where cautious calculations are no longer enough. We must act boldly, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
I
The
mean,
question is, will you stand on the side of mediocrity or support my vision?
I'm probably going to have his head off, aren't I?
To create
I've got a
my
bad feeling
formula,
about this.
I need a substance that acts as... Well, I won't get into the details. I need the slime of a giant snail. You can find them here in the Forlorn Swords. Of course, you won't get the slime without a fight, but I have a feeling that won't be a problem for you.
Point of order. I have several questions. Firstly, what? Secondly, huh? Secondly, ew. No, wait, that'll be third. Also, how the hell does he know that he needs the slime of a giant snail if he doesn't have any with which to first test his idea, on to examine the properties of it? And if he can't get it himself, how could he have had it? Somebody else may have brought him some, I suppose, at some point in the past. But, yeah. I think he's probably just guessing. Either all the tribes are too busy and they would normally have fetched him what he needs, but yeah, he's a bit weird, this fella.
Excellent. The sooner you complete this task, the sooner I can get back to work. Remember, what we're doing here will be remembered in Avalon's history.
Parents named you Dolph. They clearly didn't expect you to be interacting with many people. Jesus, that's a bad name. I wonder if I can commandeer his bed. No, he's beating me to it. He's the kind of guy who sleeps with his head in the middle of the room, not in the corner. Says everything you need to know about the guy, really, that, doesn't it? You finally reached Forlorn Swords. What kind of build are you doing, Cal? So I feel like playing in my summon is this bit. Playing a mage has ended up being somewhat easy mode. Although it's not quite as easy as it was when I started now. They have made a few adjustments with patches and things, but still. Definitely does feel like easy. Distinction of the week. Frost grot mucus. Well, I see he hasn't troubled to tell me where I can actually find some of that stuff, so that's very helpful of him. What grows some grief? Atlee asked me to carve a sigil into the bark of a tree you planted. Oh yeah, with a view to hopefully stopping the corruption of it. Objection, your dodges are ridiculously over distant. Quite tough, these fellows. I'm saying, no matter what you do, having some summons in your back pocket has definitely got to be a good idea. Beast-hide totem, huh? Interesting armor there. See the last corpse. Not far away. Need a light spell. That's the last did it. I was going to go and have a look at this because it was very interesting. You know, this is probably going to go horribly wrong kind of a way. Oh, well, whatever. We'll move on. Right. Interesting. Looks like we're going up a gap between this mountain here somewhere to find the tree. What's the deal with that armor I just picked up? Generally quite intimidating armor, I guess. Cool looking helmet. Which is max health, huh? Some weird things going on around here. Weird graveyard here. And whatever is occurring up here, which looks interesting. Carnations, meds for me. Don't think I'm really using that. Oh, more things to dig up. Flesh tree, wonderful. What could possibly go wrong? Right. I think I almost accidentally carved the symbol in when I didn't mean to there. That's fine. Head back to Atlee. Wonderful. Cool. So, next one. Prey of the Father. First now asked you to kill a forest butcher and bring her the head. So somebody who's been, yeah, presumably a tribesman who's been just slaughtering creatures for no good end. Leaving their corpses lying in the woods to rot. How you doing, Bella? Yeah, I've been enjoying the game too. It is good. For a small studio whose first effort at making this kind of game, it's especially impressive. Quite a bit of jank, but to be honest, we're kind of used to that these days.
World of hurt! Ah, that's all you've got.
I think so, buddy. I feel like maybe I could have talked to that guy, but maybe not. Doombringer's Hook. It's been Pathfinder's Totem? Stamina. Interesting. One-handed weapon of some kind. Attack speed. It's been unbloodied. Yeah, dagger. Definitely creepy. Reminds me a little bit of Ritual Blade in Fallout. Another one down. I feel like the Delriata could maybe have dealt with their own shit on this lot. And then we've got this one, which is the actual mission we're given to help them so that they'll actually listen to what I have to say, which the main story mission that is. Which, find a missing hunter who may be stuck in a cave somewhere or something. Off to the right, apparently. This way, anyway. Through the trees. Back into the more snowy region, I suspect. I don't know about love the jank. Certainly used to it, though. Bad doggy. Oh, shite. All hell's breaking loose and I can't see a damn thing. Get in there, you useless scrote. Why is this ice weaver throwing bloody... Oh dear God, that guy walloped me. Yeah, why is this ice weaver throwing friggin' fire spells at me? Why is my frickin' big bad knight fellow picking fights with summoned wolves when he could be picking fights with the people doing the summoning? Probably because he's a useless jab. Ah, damn it. It's a bit annoying. you keep making the same joke there, I'm going to not ban you. Time you out again, that's the word. Tell you how often I don't do that. That went better when you actually targeted the right enemy. Anyway, offer animal parts. What would I like to give you? I have a wolf pelt. I got Archdruid's breeches. How do they look? Spell power. Yeah, again, the stats are not good on them. Not the right way for me. They look quite cool though. I'm hoping that when I find the Archdruid's robes and stuff, it may be more badass than what I've got in appearance, even if the stats aren't. Right. I have many questions. Firstly, let's deal with the blooming undead. Oi! Nobbit, get the fuck in the fight. I even specifically cast a spell to tell him what enemy to attack, and instead he just stands there staring at his shoes. Jank. I fought Thorn, Bloodbender, or Sanguinor. I don't know. Don't recognise the names, but that doesn't necessarily mean much. I do actually think, if I remember rightly, that I need to review my armor loadout. I can't remember what I've currently got going on here. Spell power, crit chance. Spell power, crit chance. Crit chance and crit damage. Spell power. There's a lot of stuff that's general spell power. But I should also, I believe, that's not the right one. Oh, pin level, cool. My magic crit chance is so bleeding high. I should probably go looking at crit damage and try to push that even higher. Because, you know, I'll be dishing out ridiculous punishment, hopefully. Might have to tweak things for that. I mean, I need a handful more to get my crit chance and damage over the line, really, don't I? So I guess do that. Very much point worrying about spell power at this point. If I'm going to do that, come back to spell power later, can't I? And I think I need perception for crits. So that is crit damage going up. That's worthwhile. Chance to restore your stamina. That's not bad. What's that? Crits have a chance to apply bleed. Damage reduction. Not bad. Heal you. That's also useful. Increase your movement speed. All of this are things that I want. Though I think These two will be the priority. So yeah, we're going to move in that direction now. Right. Let's go and do whatever this angry fucker is. Flesh tree. That is ridiculous. I don't know if you noticed what happened there, but he did his dodge, and then because the game had decided whether or not he hit prior to the animation, which is an extremely annoying thing that a lot of games do, he then sort of stretched his dodge, his attack distance, and went further than he should have done to make the animation connect. So I should have successfully dodged, but it artificially, well, in a glitchy way, extended his range because it had decided way too early whether or not the hit was going to land. This happens a lot of the time. In a lot of games, if the you know, the hits reg, I suppose, is not in line with the animations. Horizon Zero Dawn did it a lot. It's the one that I remember the most for it. You'd watch projectiles coming at you that should have flown in a straight line, and they'd suddenly detour and turn a corner that they should not have been able to turn because you dodged. Like after you dodged, they'd follow you. And it was because the hit was registered before the animation completed, so it just tracked you and hit you anyway. Very annoying. Many games have done it since. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but it has happened to lots of them. Ooh, Arcane Aegis. What's that? Sounds interesting. It's medical shield, negating next received damage and dealing medical damage to all enemies nearby. Ooh, that's appealing. That would be amazing for a spell sword type build. If you want to do like one-handed damage with the sword, and instead of using a shield, use Arcane Aegis and just keep that up and then keep chopping them. That would be quite fun. I'm going to use it. I'm going to put that in there, the damage one. I'm going to get rid of the cube I've been using since the beginning of the game. I'm going to put Arcane Aegis in there. Because this is fun, the Crippling Core, in that it staggers enemies when it works, but it's not reliable in the later game. It's a lot of enemies just don't stagger from it. Just doesn't affect them. So I'd rather have the other one, which deals massive amounts of damage every so often. Anyway, where's my horse? Both bounties. Okay. I probably have, unless they're from full-on swords. If they're earlier in the game, I've probably found them. I'm playing as a mage, though, and I like my character to reflect that. I know we've got the transmog thing now, but why is that still there? Yeah, I like my outfit to reflect that. Like, I know you can transmog to wear whatever you like and still have the stats, but oh, that's interesting.
Your gold belongs to us. You're no match.
Apparently I do not have the
This is my lucky day.
why is
This is going to
Why do I suddenly have... Oh, okay, Aegis is presumably eating up a large proportion... Oh, there it is, yeah. So it is up. It's eating up a large proportion of my mana, which I could buff. Maybe. Presumably holds off a large proportion of my mana while it's up. And then when it expires, it'll fade, I'm guessing. But then came back up. Anyway, moving on. What's going on, you know? Many questions. Oh, it's a cave, isn't it? So, a lot of questions. Oh, slightly less than I had before. In forest. There's an undead here a minute ago. Oh, no, there was. There he is. Come on, hit me, you silly sod. Kinda like you to... It's... Weird occurred there. Where'd the other guy go? Probably this way, didn't he? Whatever, I don't care that much. Magical shield for 120 seconds, negating next damage received. So it's up because timer hasn't run down yet. Okay. I think. I'm confused. So the left-hand thing keeps disappearing since the update. Whatever it might be. Which is slightly annoying. Ooh. Darth armor looks interesting. Full armor. That's not particularly good, but they're quite cool looking. That's actually not as bad looking as I thought either. Pathfinders. That's beast hide. Ahem. I don't know if its damage is based on my stats or not, actually. It does not specifically say. I think your stats can affect how much it costs to summon them. I don't know if it affects the actual damage. It may scale with that. It may scale with level as well. He puts up a good fight, Sir Bertolac. Definitely a badass summon once you have him. Right, let's see if we can't find this missing tribesman who's about to look a whole lot less badass, given that wandering wizard had to pull his ass out of a mine. Assuming he's not already, you know, very actually dead. Nice. Creepy down here. Bottomless. Surprise, motherfucker. Frostbitten skin, huh? So it's like if you'd care to hop down here and, you know, be a little less useless, that'd be great. Damage over time, Garb of the Hollow Sun. Definitely haven't encountered that. I think I'd remember that name. Interesting. If this is the cave I was told about, I can now report back. Okay, that seems presumably he became some kind of monstrosity or was consumed by some sort of monstrosity, but I didn't see any evidence that he'd been here. Unless that's actually supposed to be him. Oh, I do have to go out that way. Oh no, wait, there's another cave here. Another passage, rather. Sneak down the back passage. Then Blood Tracker's trousers. Ooh, we found the boots not so long ago. And we found his kicks. And a suspiciously... Oh, I see. I think this is going to be a way out, isn't it? I have a hunch. And that could just be my bad posture. The spell effect is still listed there, even though it's not taking up my mana bar anymore. Which is interesting. Ooh. The night cycle's a little faster in this game as well. In my opinion. I think this was supposed to be Souls-like. Resting was going to cause all the undead to come back again. Who's the other one? Who's over here somewhere? There he is. Oh, I'm not going running that far after him. Interesting. It's like a fun build. Neat. Huh.
I don't mind silence if you've nothing to say.
Actually, I thought I'd tell you I did what you want me to do.
So, it was one of the Stagfather's chosen ones. Slaughtering most of our village wasn't enough. He had to butcher the animals too. Scum. I'll toss his head out to rot. Let the worms feed on it. At least he'll be useful to the land. Here. You've done a good thing. It shouldn't go unrewarded.
They've got a rest of his corpse to eat. So you might as well stick this on a spike.
Watch where you step.
Rainbow. To be confused with a rainbow. It's far more useful to rappers. What does that do? Piercing target children. That'll probably be quite effective. I'm curious to see how it looks. Oh, it's a short bow style. That's quite a cool looking one. Not that I would use it. I hear a shouting kitty cat somewhere. Probably in the hallway. Seem to be doing that lately. Right, this guy wanted me to uncurse his tree, didn't he?
You're not hurt, are you? Good.
About your tree.
Yes?
Stop the corruption, now you can take care of it.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't know if our tribe will stay here, but even if we don't, there will still be my mark on this place. Proof that I existed, that I wasn't just a
For a
dream.
while.
This is for you. I know it's not enough. Not for what you've done for me. I can only promise I will not forget your kindness.
Yeah, shields are a bit weird with. They don't... Well, I only ever used them very briefly at the start of the game, and they feel absolutely useless when you're at low level. They don't seem to block any damage, and... Yeah. They don't parry either. At least they don't feel like they do, anyway. But if I was... If... Big ifs, I run through again, I'll be doing a two-handed sword build. Something along those lines, of two-handed weapon in particular, but in general, but mainly two-handed swords, because there are some badass two-handed swords in the game, and it's a really fun way to play. Like, the combat style's fun. My only question is whether or not you can kind of hold off, like, sometimes get swarmed against particularly powerful enemies. It depends how powerful you get as you level up. But it would certainly not be as easy as sort of dodging around and throwing spells at people are.
You're willing to help us even further.
Yes.
That is unexpected.
Yeah, I'm just nice like that. Why is it unexpected?
Well, you're an outsider. But even if you weren't, the Dalrita are taught to rely on themselves. On one hand, the tribe is bound to help its own. On the other, asking for help is rarely seen as honourable.
Yep.
We live with many contradictions, and we die with them.
Would have asked if I wasn't willing to help. What needs doing?
All right. The corruption that struck my tree, it spread further, carried by the Stagfather's worshippers. The forest weeps blood. It bears the same monsters. But it turns out that even monsters have their use.
Yeah, there are some good heavy armor sets. What kind of use?
Plenty, it turns out. I found a recipe for a poultice in one of Wyrdness' books. It would help the wounded greatly, but it needs resin produced by the flesh trees. If you bring some to me, I'll give you another recipe I found. You'll find more use for it than I ever could.
The resin you requested, because I've already taken a couple of them down.
The Stagfather worshippers brought ruin to us, and yet, unwittingly, they also helped create our salvation. Leona taught me that there is balance in all things. I suppose she wasn't wrong.
Also sounds pretty cool looking.
Outsider.
Don't think I recall being a fan of the set,
kin.
though. The bonuses on it.
The promised
Although it was a
recipe.
while ago I looked, so.
May it serve you well.
Actually, charcoal. Ooh, there's something else actually on it. Give me a book. Cavalier backplate, so physical damage. It's an interesting looking set. When you have more health than stamina, critical damage is up. When you have more stamina than health, physical damage is up. Plate, physical damage when your health is low, critical chance up. Yeah, it's basically bloodied. Movement speed multiplier when stamina is low. Yeah, I don't like these, most of these conditional ones. Oh, there's a breastplate there. Each missing point of health increases max stamina. Each missing point of stamina increases physical damage. So the more you get drained, the closer you get to dying, the more dangerous you become. It does look like quite a cool armor set, though. I suppose I suppose there's any way to craft it here either. I suppose I'd be able to craft it. It would be fun to use as a maybe as like a transmog set. Yeah, when I was playing Avowed earlier this year, one of the things I thought was fun, and what little I tried it, and I think will probably transfer over to this game as being fun as well, is trying to go for a two-handed sword build, really pushing your attack speed up. Where is the last one? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, really pushing your attack speed up. Sort of going off of that, so you can attack and parry nice and fast with a big two-handed sword. Actually feel more like a real two-handed sword then, rather than the usual video gamey stuff. Understandable though that may be. But yeah, I think it'd be quite a cool way to play. So, there is a stash somewhere down here, isn't there? Juggernaut's type. Yeah, that vaguely rings a bell, actually. There are a few that do definitely cross over with Fallout-style setups. Oh, I know what was behind me. It's Coco, isn't it? Stash. Do that. I don't think I really want to. I don't know if I want to keep any of this. I think I'll probably keep those. Couple of cool designs of B-side gauntlets there. I'll go through those in a minute. I don't think I want to keep most of this on, I'm honest. Keep that. There's a lot of B-side stuff. I want to keep that one. Oh, there's another one that's just done a runner in on me that I can't see. Oh, it was the gloves, wasn't it? One of those. Yeah, I've been keeping most of the interesting stuff. That's fine. Needs adjusting. No, Look, I may have just stashed something I didn't want to stash there. Oh. Maybe not. Maybe we're fine. What have you been shouting at, eh? What have you been shouting about? I don't know if you could hear that before, but I could definitely hear the cat yelling. She's now come in here and settled down on the sofa. In a gobby mood, are you, kitty cat? I think she's adorable and all, but she's been quite a handful the last few days. Yeah, so I've hung on to most things that are like cool and unique. Don't really know why I hung on to a short sword and a dagger. Wasn't really necessary. There's some badass shields though. Not sure how I got two of those, but I did. Got two of a couple of things. Updates maybe. So what badass armors did we get? Ah, it does look cool, but doesn't have great stats. Lancelot's, yeah, crit chance when health is low, increases, yeah, that sort of stuff's fine, but anything that's like when your health is low is like, yeah, I really want to avoid my health being low, really. Green Knight's one is fun, although I don't really like the look. Extra stamina is definitely handy. For somebody who's like using a two-handed sword though. Egwene's physical damage, yeah, but again only when your health is near maximum. That's kind of too limiting, but an interesting look. This tunic, that's quite cool, but more for looks better on female characters generally because it's kind of typed that way. Melee damage while dual wielding, yeah, because Percival wielded two great swords. Armor. Dual knight armor, that looks quite cool. Galahad's tunic. There are some really great sort of female body type armors in this game. Look amazing, especially for spellcasters as well. Plate of the Last Man, bit underwhelming looking. Well, Butcher's armor, dual knight armor. That's not a bad set if you're playing a female spellcaster. 25% spell power bonus is nice. And it's quite a nice looking dress. Doesn't give you a lot of protection, but you could upgrade that. Mind you, if you're being dodgy, it doesn't really matter too much, and it just looks cool. Or you could just transmog into it, which would also be good. You want the look. Yeah, I feel like some of those as I mentioned are probably not here yet. There's some good stuff here. To this out. Let's go and turn this quest in.
What do you want?
Bloodied is not a choice I would choose in any game ever, no matter how viable, to be honest. So, yeah, definitely wouldn't pick it in this one. In any other. No hunter in the cave. You sent me to, and you're bottomless.
What? You went to the bottomless cave? And you made it out alive?
So you tried to send me to my death.
Impossible. It would have torn you apart in an instant.
So you tried to send me to my death then?
Yeah, I wanted to get rid of you. We don't need outsiders here.
Looks like your tribe's about to be
Definitely not
reduced
now.
by a number 1.
But you've proven you have what matters most to the swine. Strength of spirit and the will to survive. Go talk to Barlam, our chieftain. He'll probably find some use for you.
Right, now, what's
I
happening?
can't tell you more than that. Barlam will decide what you need to know.
Tell me more about your village. What do you think about them? Do you do anything besides insulting strangers?
Besides that, I hunt. Best in the village. Was
Clearly
already
not.
true before most of the hunters got themselves killed.
Tell me more about the village.
What? You want a tour now? Want me to introduce you to every corpse?
Village, what an overview.
Even the dead wouldn't bother talking to outsiders, let alone the living, who've got their own problems.
What was the village like before this massacre?
Much livelier. There was more noise, less dead silence. And
Yeah,
it
some
smelled
good
of
stuff.
hearth smoke and roasting meat, not blood.
What do you think about them?
He's been in charge for as long as I can remember, and ruled wisely, fairly even. But turns out he was too lenient with some of us. And you see where that kind of weakness leads.
Like our place to
Yes.
live.
Unless your goal is to freeze or get eaten by something mean, then it's real easy. But we'll survive, even if there's only a handful of us left. And you, if you can't take care of yourself, you can always move on. I sure as hell won't stop you. You'd best be on your way.
I will be. But one thing before I do. You don't get to heal. Just because I'm not putting up with that kind of attitude from some random person who sends me to my death when I try and help out. She gets to get murdered. And I get to reload so I don't have to deal with the fact the whole village hates me afterwards. Actually, I don't know if they would hate me, but it might make it very difficult for me to advance the game. Although, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, I was going to look into maybe magic or critical chance armor, wasn't I? If there is something. This place I can upgrade stuff there. Cool. Yeah, if the place was bottomless, it would definitely still be there. Right then. What have we got? Principal's headpiece is quite cool looking. Stamina, mana, and health boosted. Willpower and magical critical chance I've currently got. Double health while you're in combat, but then could drop right off afterwards. Yeah, interesting. Increases your dash counter by 3 when below 25% health. That's actually not bad at all, in a way. Stamina cost, that's not terrible either. Damage. Crits make your targets bleed. It's quite cool looking. Stamina cost. They'd be bleeding all the time then, wouldn't they? Critical damage and attack speed. Mana regen. Magical critical chance goes up and damage. Critical damage goes up. That wouldn't be bad. Night Stalker's Mask. Is it better? No, not really. Corrupted Oracle's Headdress. There's nothing better in that department. Mana regen, stamina, spell power. I'm looking at maybe crits, aren't I? And casting speed's kind of appealing. Spell power and magical critical chance, but again, it's a dress. Mind you, I could always transmog out of it if I wanted to. Weighs a bit more, but it's not a problem. Spell power is not quite as high. Magical critical chance is maybe a possibility. The Royal Gown might be worth considering. Especially as that's not upgraded and mine currently is. Magical critical chance by 7 and magical and critical damage is appealing as well. Night Stalker's Tunic. Again, don't like the look, but we can always transmog out of it, can't we? Robes of the Waning Moon. The other question is what the Archdruid set does as well. I think it's kind of a little on the bloodied side though, so. Or it might be the mana equivalent of that. Archdruid's gloves somewhere, have I? Yeah. Critical chance when mana's low and critical damage goes up. That's worth it. The critical chance not so much, but the damage is. So that's a maybe. Agent. Crits restores stamina. This is critical damage, and that was the one we were looking at before, wasn't it? Which is critical damage and critical hits restore mana. That's kind of worth it, I think. Critical damage is only 15%, but they restore your mana. It would be helpful. I do kind of like that 50% bonus there. Right now. It's too big a jump, I think, to not take it. Yeah, the Archdruid's gloves are coming. What about Therese's? We got critical chance up by 10 and damage up by 10, haven't I? Power and critical chance. Although they are a bit weird looking. Critical chance, no. It's part of a dress set, I think, which is kind of amusing. It's basically a pair of magic enhancing pants. This magical critical chance when low health. That's not what I want. Critical chance across the board. And low stamina. Nothing particularly appealing. Is there anything that's going to give me... This is critical chance goes up a little and damage goes up a little. I don't think this is something that's going to give me a massive jump to my spell power, which... That's not terrible. Except for the fact that they look terrible. Mind you, again... could... Transmog. And the mana's not a bad idea on the Battle Mage's trousers either. Really, the question is whether or not that's worth it. No, it's not. So I'll stick with what I've got. What about shoes? Critical damage. Yeah, too specific. It's just straight spell power I've got at the moment. I think we'll do spell power and or something like that. Spell power and critical chance. They are a bit weird looking, those, but again, we transmog out. Again, I could probably buff those. So. Pairs of assassin's boots, apparently. I should get rid of a pair of those. Don't see anything that's better than what I have, really, though. So maybe those. A few bits of them will be worth it. Mana regen, spell power I'm currently on. Up for magic critical chance. Stamina regen and critical chance is not a terrible thing. But I think that's probably staying as is. So, what did we get? We got possibly a better set of armor. Possibly a better set of shoes. Gloves. Armor, shoes and gloves I think we're looking at, aren't we? Now, I am curious about the Archdruid's... might hold off on doing the armor right now. Spikes are a bit weird. Trousers are definitely terrible. Right. So, let's have a look at these. Critical chance and critical damage. Whereas those are willpower and critical chance. Yeah. So I won't get the critical chance buff. I should check now how my magical critical chance is still sitting at 93 there. As if I click those on. Magic critical chance sits at 100. So guaranteed, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that's worth it for the damage. I'll drop a couple of them, but I'll soon be clawing that back anyway, so I think. And that spell power. Those do need upgrading, those hideous shoes. We also need transmogging, which for some reason I can't move across to, but that's fine. Shoes. These look, how are we going to make them look? Well, that's what I was on before, wasn't it? That's possibly fine. Those look quite cool. Most of the boots look pretty much the same. Or worse than what I have. So I go for those, which are quite cool and kind of magey. Yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Anything else I'd like to transmog? Really, not right now anyway. Maybe those trousers, but I don't suppose I would. I don't see a lot here that looks like it'd really be worth changing on there. Right. So I want to upgrade the shoes a bit if I can. Spell power, magical critical chance won't go up, but I can buff the spell power a bit. Five. It's at 15 and 11 armor, opposed to whatever I had before. It was giving me 20 in spell power, 3.5 armor. I could bump it up further. It's probably going to eat through the money I have available, so I won't. I'll leave that there. What's the deal with this currently? Spell power, magic critical chance, as opposed to my current setup, which is just spell power, but it's a lot more spell power. 37. But I don't want to waste stuff on that now, just in case the Archdruid's robes turn out to be better. So, that I think is where we're at. There it is. Magic critical chance and critical damage. Spell power, magical critical chance. Actually, the Night's Locker Tunic. Stick that on. Might even hang on. We're looking at right now. Spell power. I'd lose some spell power, but I'll probably live with that. So our character's currently got which critical chance is 93 and damage 258. That's better. Yeah, that is definitely better. So back to the inventory. I'm not going to keep this on because I don't like the look of it, but at least I'm not going to keep the appearance of it. The armor's better as well. So that's going to go back in storage, and that's going to get transmogged. Okay. Storage. That's all sorted. Go in there as well. We do a transmog and make sure everything's right. Yeah, this is weird. I can move across with a mouse, but there's not really any practical way to move across if you don't have a mouse wheel that will go side to side that I know of. This is weird. Very, very strange. It's not a problem, but it's a bit of a UI issue. Needs to be looking way cooler in a magey kind of way. Not that. Don't like that. Don't like that either. Don't really know what I'm sticking with there. It's not the worst. There's some badass looking IMA battle mage type vibe. Dual knight armor. Good clansfolk. There's a lot of the mage outfits, so the robe type things, are not the best looking really. Why I'm still sticking with. Well, that is quite a nice looking armor set, really. Lol. Alchemist tunic is awful. It's got a badass looking armor set, but no. It's his chest out. Where is the one I want? There it is. The Spellslinger's jacket. It's definitely the best looking set I've got right now. We'll stick with that. Because, you know, fashion is important or something. Fashion as well as function. So there you go, sell a bunch. I also want to, while we're on the subject, one there, Drink Shrine, there's one there, and there's one there, and one there, and I found what. Find out where the rest of the Druidic shrines are. And I think we'll have to do a little bit of a ride around and find them before we do much more. So, I'm going to quickly pull. So I do want to grab the rest of these outfits. Up. Yeah, man. Swords. Oh, oops. Locations. Right. Hmm. One, two, three. Quick look over here. Apparently I managed to miss one. One there that I missed, okay. One there, that's workable. Okay, so our first stop is going to be down. Apparently there's one tucked in here, which is not hard to see how I missed that. So, get the rest of this Archdruid set. And then we'll see how we're doing for time and probably press on. We finished the paintwork, got to 98 on the scoreboard. I've got every achievement Cyberpunk. That's a pretty successful day from the sound of it there, Steve. Might have to transbog these clubs out, so I'm already not a fan. Priorities, though. Apparently need to go that way. That way. This way, apparently. Ooh, there's a big old skelly hand there. So I need to go around that way. So left and then round to the right. Apparently. We appear to be missing a trick. We'll sort that in a minute. Yeah, it does look like I'll have to go around. Okay, we can do that. Probably. You're a dodgy little goblin, aren't you? I know they're not actually called goblins, but they're blatantly goblins of some sort. Take your wizard out. Really sounds like a euphemism, doesn't it? Get your wizard out. No, definitely don't get your wizard out. Might be children present. That's because I was pressing the wrong button. Okay, Ooh, that's not good. I am out of heads. Hey! Nobody asked you. Right, anyway. I'm done being picked over by slightly temperamental UIs. Do a bunch of cooking. Need to do alchemy probably if I get the chance. Very hard, mate. Rather like I'm done by that one. Right. So now I need to get around there. Ain't gonna happen from here, is it? Yeah, there's symbols about just below my health bar and stuff in the bottom corner there that I would like to understand a little better, but I don't think there's another place I can see them with more detail. Population, that's creepy as fuck. Some amazing creature design in this. Yeah, it's a weird deer, alright. Kill that guy and he just threw himself at me. Say himself, I can't really tell. He's a little bit void of flesh to be sure as to exactly what he is. By the way, definitely didn't go as expected. Boom. Come on, let's have a twofer. You're just confused, or do you just try and drink a potion? Because I hope it's the former, because if he tried to drink a potion, I don't imagine it's going to go so well for him. With him being a skeleton and all. Ah, that's what we came here for. Anyway. Good bone. Let's just get bone meal. Not yet. Arch Druid's amulet. Okay, what's the deal with that? How's it compared to what I have? Both the spell power, magic critical chance, and max mana. My current one gives me more critical chance and less spell power and mana, which the other one gives me a little more spell power and mana, but less critical chance. I'll stick with what I've got, thanks. I picked up an interesting looking hat. You can see what hat I'm wearing anyway right now, so that's what it is. Any Final Fantasy undead rules applied? I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, I'm afraid, so I can't say I know what the rules would be. I feel like they should not like fire as much as they seem to be okay with it, but so I need to bounce there, don't I? Okay. Pink. Surprise! Down you go, Sonny Jim. Did not mean to drop off there. I wanted to drop somewhere about here. Set myself a short jog. I want to go this way. Potions that hurt the undead. I can't remember if it's still the case or where it was the case, but there used to be, maybe it was the old D&D rules somewhere, but used to be that healing spells inflicted damage on the undead, whereas sort of necrotic effectively inflicting spells healed them, so you had to go the other way around for it. But yeah, fire doing more damage than I would like. Piercing damage shouldn't do a lot of damage to skeletons, really, should it? You know, arrows and daggers and the like should go right through and not do much harm. I want to go that way. I want to go that way. I think. Yeah. Skeletons with brittle bones. It would be problematic. Cold reach. Now that sounds like it came out of ESO. I think around here there's a look. I can't remember where that shrine was. Right there. Okay. Over here, actually. That's the top of it there. Ah! Slugs! And these are the kind of slugs that I need. Frost grot. Yes, they are the kind of slugs that I need. Nails, aren't they? Slugs, exactly. Tend to run away, apparently. That's a bit more effective. Frost grot mucus. Lovely. Slugs are homeless, yeah, exactly. Snail slugs. Same thing. Drowners do seem resistant somewhat to fire. Leak of the primordial beast. Interesting. Yeah, certain things do seem to be better resistant to fire than others. It's the blood. Okay, let's have some of that. Archdruid's Cowl. How does that look? Quite cool from the look of it. Crits restore mana, increases spell power. Don't have the endurance for it, which is interesting. Lots of critical chance would not be ideal. In favour of a little bit more spell power and restoring mana. Constant restoring of mana as I use it would be nice. But it kind of comes back so damn fast I wouldn't need to worry about it anyway. I might go for it, though, as a transmog option. Because it does look quite cool. Right. Next one. So, next one's there. No. Last one's going to be the hardest to get to, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that might be an option, but I don't know either. That didn't look like one, so... That's going to be using... No, that's not relevant. That's easy enough. I just ride around the corner. It's this one I'm unsure about. So, my next one is actually really quite close to here. It's just around this corner. The last one is somewhere over here, and I haven't got the Scooby how to get there. There's, yeah, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of options on that. How are we doing, Gray? You alright? Evening, Caleb? Fantasy 1 is heavily D&D based. I'm not terribly surprised. Old school D&D as well, given the time period. Be as far back as AD&D, actually. Speaking of things what are old, by the way. Some of you may or may not be aware of just how close I am to levelling up again. Scary numbers this time. Well, fairly scary numbers. Next time they're bloody scary numbers, but... Oh, shit! I'm in trouble. Well, at least you're down. That's the major problem dealt with. Gotcha. Right. Oh, and a level. Very nice. Speaking of levels. Yeah, pretty much, Gray, yeah. I don't know if it's actual Cockney rhyming slang, but it functions in the same way. Gareth the Fair, humble in service, noble in spirit, a knight forged not by birth but by deeds, unyielding in battle, steadfast in honour, true to his oath till the very end. Now that is a proper knight. Or at least so the statue would suggest, anyway. Is an axolotl following me? Technically it's a questing beast. A baby questing beast, Caleb. But you're not far off, to be fair. It does have major axolotl vibes to it. Is this the right way? Yeah, I think it's the right way. Aha, there it is. Blood class. Archdruid's vestments. There we go. That's the bit that I really want to see. It's moderately badass. Don't know how I feel about it. It's a bit too armory and not really enough. So I need a lot more endurance. Max mana by 100, mana regeneration by 5. It goes down a little. That's great. Increases spell power by 75% when at low mana. So it's actually not that great either. The mana's nice, but everything else is not that great. There's a transmog option. It wouldn't be terrible. It's also not that spectacular. Which means I'm probably just lacking the boots, I think, which I don't know that I can get to very quickly. I'm not in a tearing rush to either, probably. I wouldn't enjoy walking along this ledge myself, but cave by the cliff. Wonderful. I'm not going to dive in there right now, are they? Yeah. Next week, yeah. I am staring down the barrel of arguably being the wrong side of old as of tomorrow. Not quite there, but closer than I'd like to be. So, yeah, how do I get to that other one, and is it worth it? Well, there's a broken bridge there, and then there's maybe wading across there, but I don't see how you'd get down there. This is maybe a cave or something that's entered through. There don't really seem to be any way over there. Got to be that because I don't see any other options. So I guess we're going to bounce to there. Caves there, didn't we? So that still doesn't leave you with a way up there, though. That's weird. I realise you can't see what I'm looking at, but I'm looking at that section of the map that's currently under the fog of war. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not that worried about the shoes. We'll ride back around, I think. Yeah, I'm not too desperately worried about getting the shoes from that outfit. A bit disappointed that it wasn't a bit cooler, actually. But it's just copper. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed they weren't. It's not a bit cooler, but. Heavy armors are probably the coolest looking options, just from an aesthetic, I think. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Yeah, it's somewhere down here, but the way across would appear to be here, but I don't know how to get there. Because this area also isn't really all that accessible. So it looks like you'd have to go this way, but I don't know how you're supposed to get there either, because that is a cliff edge. Well, yeah, I'm not going to push towards it. I'll wait till it becomes apparent some other way, maybe. A little bit weird, isn't it? Does buff my critical damage, doesn't it? I'm not about to change that. It's worthwhile. Especially if I want to push my endurance and stuff any higher, really. Don't think I really do. Do I? Nah. Not really. Spirituality, I could push a bit higher for a bit more spell power because I'm about to have taken a small dip in my spell power, which will not be a bad thing. Baseline damage, my mana and my mana regen going up would be nice. Not really much point in pushing that up any higher, really, is there, at this point? Is it worth doing that? No, I don't want the armor. I'll take a little bit of spirituality, I think, right now. Damage reduction. Crits heal you. Constant healing from crits is nice. And movement speed would also be nice. I'll take that, I think. Mouse at the gate, okay. Okay. Look at this gear situation. So where we're at the moment, the question is, would I want to go down that road? I mean, I don't like the gloves that much. Just have a look at the gloves, really. It's currently made to look that way. Does look like that. I could change these to look like basically anything else, though. This one's got those are quite cool. I'm gonna eat my cash. I need to go out and farm a whole bunch of cash or sell a bunch of the stuff that I'm just not going to use. Dual Knight gloves look pretty badass. Don't know if they really suit my character though. Wand Wardens, they don't really go with everything else, do they? They're not that bad, but that one's just not quite. Usurper's trinkets, not terrible. And lightning, those look badass actually. Those look awful. All sorts of chest plates. Quite a good looking set. Investments. They're not the best, but they're just a little bit too thin and meh. I don't know, they just don't look epic enough. It's gotta look epic. Village Healer's robe is weirdly more epic, but the armour on that was always a bit weird. Royal Butchers is quite badass, but no. I do feel like something's missing though. Something to be said for that. But I don't think I'll be doing it. There's the extra investments. Didn't know. It's a game like Oblivion in some ways, yeah, Caleb. So that versus where we're at already. You know what? I think the set I'm on already is just a bit more wizardly, isn't it? A bit more I'm a badass mage, which is kind of the view I want. So it's gonna be all about the headgear and gloves. The gloves being priority 1, I think. It's definitely not right. Those are quite cool. But not what I feel is the way to go. Vessels are probably the coolest so far. These are quite badass. Keepers, interesting. Yeah, I think we're still looking at Percival's as being the coolest of the lot, aren't we? Even they're not quite what I'm looking for. Do kind of like those. These? Night Stalker. So, what I'm going to do here... drop a quick save, if it doesn't crash on me. Yeah, I like Dark Scrolls more than Scrolls-like. Maybe I'm weird. Well, I'm absolutely weird, but you know. In this case. So anyway, I got my save off there, so I can do this without having to worry about them not liking my decision and spending money I don't want. I'm going to look at the dual night gloves, because I think they kind of blend in a kind of a way, I think. Zoom in there, that's really annoying. Still not convinced. I'm still not convinced. No, I don't think it's too big an armory. Really harming me. Oh, those are hideous. terrible. What are those? Night Stalkers, yeah. Again, these are quite cool, but the glowing's just a bit weird given they're the only things that do. It feels like it fits with the rest of the outfit as well. Those are just a little bit too hideous around the hands. I mean, those would be the obvious choice in some ways, but they're just a bit boring. That's quite cool. Ooh. What are these? Some Lancelot's arm braces. They're a bit metal, but they're also fairly metal. I'm not sold. One of the reasons I don't like those, actually, I think, is there's a weird bit of clipping that's not looking right. Looks better. That probably is the best bet. Yeah, I can live with that. That looks alright. Sufficiently badass. So any other question? Scroll. Is how I look with the headgear. Well, that headgear is definitely not the way. Well, the stats go cool. But the way it hides my hair is not great. I did want to have a look at this. Ooh, that is quite badass and says very druidy. In its appearance. But I don't think it's necessarily an improvement over... Nothing. What's that look like? Oh dear lord, that's crazy. Quite badass in its own way as well. Yeah, the Rasputin with his hair out thing I think still works the best. I think we'll stick with that. Get some stashing done. Saves coming fashion. Well, my money's running a little low, and so I do that sort of thing a lot when I'm rolling things like that. If I'm not sure I'm going to like the outcome, but especially when there's a fee to it like that. I don't mind paying the fee too much, but there are limits, you know. Right. Let's I was going to say about the quest to actually get these guys to attend the moot, which is kind of what we've been working to this whole dang time. I have increased my badassery level somewhat. Mikhail, you wanted to kill me, really?
Kill you? Maybe. But the fact that you're still breathing only proves your strength and your determination.
Doesn't prove shit about you, though, does it?
Trial, which means you've proven yourself worthy of knowing what we're up against.
So what happened
The
here,
Stagfather happened. A bunch of fanatics called him into this world.
Seems unpleasant.
They claimed that when he arrived, he would devour everyone, then choose his own and grant them their rightful place in the afterlife. You can see how well that turned out. And that's how the story of the Swine tribe ends. I doubt we'll ever recover from this.
The Stagfather a god?
He is our most important god, the one we worshipped in the homelands. And we brought him here with us. He watched over us, blessed us with an abundance of game. In return, he had our unwavering devotion. But, as it often happens, some became blindly devoted, while others began to doubt. And the first group decided that the rest were unworthy of the Stagfather's grace. So they set him loose, to kill the entire tribe. The faithful joined him. The unbelievers were slaughtered.
And what happened next?
One of ours, Gudry, did something completely suicidal. With the help of our shamaness. He accepted the god into his body and is trying to keep him contained. But he's growing weaker by the day. We don't have much time before the Stagfather breaks loose again. And trust me, mixing the old gods with the Wyrdness thickening in these lands is the worst possible combination.
Yep, you end up with
We have
gravy
to
like
act
concrete
quickly.
when you do that. I mean, what?
Although, I have no idea where to even start.
Will you attend the meet now? Of course not.
And the only thing that's happened so far is you proving you don't bow to fear, and that you know how to handle a weapon. Now, I need someone willing to help the Svine tribe.
What do you want me to do?
Well, that's a good question. Because I have no idea. All I know is that we need to find a way to get rid of the Stagfather once and for all.
We'll send him
Gudry
home
won't
at
be
least.
able to hold on much longer. And when he gives up, we're all lost.
You don't want me to fight a
Go
god?
find Glirna. She must know something. She's the shamaness serving the damn thing, and somehow she's keeping Gudry alive. We may not like each other, but I know Glirna isn't a fanatic. She owes as much to her own tribe as she does to the Stagfather.
Seems you're not very fond of her.
Glirma is our old soothsayer. Very old. When I was a kid, that hag was already as wrinkled as an apple, forgotten in the storehouse for 3 winters. When I was a kid, that hag was already as wrinkled. But fate has tangled our paths. And we have no choice but to work together. The fate of the tribe is more important than our petty squabbles.
It's amusing when sometimes we find that the lines play twice and there's slightly difference. Obviously, somehow multiple takes of the same line ended up in the game. Not quite the way that's supposed to go. Okay, anything else I need
If
to
you
know?
need to get ready, go see Xion. He'll help you with your gear. There's still the cook, Sagar. You could talk to him too. You can sleep in any of the empty houses. I'm sure their previous owners won't mind.
Not fond of Glirna, are you?
Glirna is our old soothsayer, but fate has tangled our paths.
Okay. Alright. So... I assume that's the quest, is it? Yep. Rather thought it might be. So... there's a couple of people. There's... H guy. Ooh, Arthur's got a memory for me, has he? And who might have some gear to sell and or buy. Not the point. Might keep in empty houses, apparently. Seagar was the cook. Was advised to go and find as well. I'm just going to stick my nose in his house and see what's going on. They're very cool, these houses. I do like the design. This guy is sensible enough to keep his bed the right way around.
Huh. Don't know you.
I should see you too.
Looking to buy hides, meat, or something else?
Who are you? What do you do?
Oh, Sagar, a cook. The hunters bring me game, and I'll break it down into meat, hides, and bones. Cook the meat, tan the hides, use the bones to make tools and parts for weapons. All of it's for sale.
Yeah, that was kind of my point, Gray. I can't remember myself. Don't waste a thing, do you?
If you want to survive out here, you use everything you got.
Anything to tell me about the village?
This fiend are known for the hunters. The chieftain is Barlam. And if the tribe survives, his son Vragi will probably take over.
If the tribe survives?
I misspoke. Forget it.
Yeah, you're all about to die, we get it. Ooh, cheese bun, cheese ball of doom, cheese pie. Fried fish skin, sunside crab. Pretty sure I've already got that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Bunch of stuff I can sell. Fortunately, he might be a cook, but he'll also buy random bits of gear that I've taken off corpses around the around the full-on swords. Put it all on, I'm not going to use it. I think I want to get rid of those. Ooh, still some stuff to get rid of there. Cool. Oh, worth it. Still got no idea where the other guy is. That may not sell me some stuff. His name begins with H. He's not the guy at the gate. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, that's Vesna. Ruggy. Ah, I see. That's the chief's son-in-law, is it? Daughter-in-law, rather. Interesting. Not that guy. Profile. Kill. I'm gonna kill her if I wouldn't get into trouble for it. She said, "We'll test you by sending you to your certain doom." And then when you somehow come back, they sheepishly have to put up with me. Gits. That's it, Xion.
A stranger in my shop, eh? It should be closed after everything that happened here. I just happen to feel safest in this place. So if you want to buy something, I suppose I can trade with you.
Make all this merchandise yourself?
That's right, all crafted by my own hands. Don't look so surprised. Back in my day, it was nothing out of the ordinary. Everyone in the tribe had to know how to stitch leather, forge knives, and identify herbs. Survival basics.
Don't you want to keep your words for those who survived?
I've got more goods than there are people left in this village. And who knows what Barlam will decide after all this Stagfather mess we're in. Maybe a bit of coin will come in handy. And I must admit, I'm also somewhat curious about your presence, as it's been a long time since I last traded with someone from outside the Dalrita. Years have passed since one of your kind set foot in the village.
Where'd you have a problem with the Stagfather?
Ah, so you've heard about that. Barlam must trust you. A lot of good warriors died fighting the monster the Stagfather became. Svaldir, Vraskin, Eardan. I was lucky to make it out alive. It's the kind of luck that would make you want to thank a god, if it weren't the same god you were fighting.
How was life in the tribe before all this?
In the old days, everyone was mostly on their own. You could only rely on your own wits and the strength of your hands. I think what matters more now is the tribe as a whole. You can rely on others more, rather than having to depend entirely on yourself. That has its pros and cons. A community gives you strength and a sense of security. But when you're spending a cold, lonely night in the wilderness, it doesn't help much. And that's what changed. Some of the tribesfolk started to behave like a hive and decided to free the Stagfather. It made no sense, considering what the Sven tribe stood for.
Developed a sense of community. Strong individuals, what matters most. Strength of the individual. And both seem fairly equally important, really. Yeah.
That's true. A strong individual can survive in the wild, but without a tribe they won't build anything lasting. A tribe without strong people will fall apart quickly. It's good that you understand that. You have the wisdom of someone older.
That's weird. Sense of community, strong tribe has value.
A strong tribe is important, sure. But when you've been hunting alone for 2 weeks, freezing and hallucinating, and the Ice Weaver reaches out her hand, well, a strong tribe won't help you then. There's more than one way to look at any issue. You just have to survive long enough to see it.
What's an Ice Weaver?
Ice Weavers are deadly.
Yes, I know.
They appear as beautiful women, luring weary hunters and travellers, then freeze the blood in their veins, literally.
Strong individuals, what matters? Well, it's pretty important. I would like to get out of this, but apparently I can't. I'm stuck here.
Communities for a reason. We gather
Ridden
in
you
packs, like animals, because it makes life easier.
Could be the same
And,
idea, don't know.
honestly, it's nice to have someone to talk to now and then. The problem begins when a tribe splits in half and turns on itself. That's why we lost so many brothers and sisters.
How did I didn't open the shop for now? See if there's anything to sell. Oh, just arrows. Okay.
As you can see, I've got a business.
That's fine. Tribe is known for hunters. Were you on too?
Not anymore. It's been years since I last went hunting.
Oh,
Not that I don't want to.
Thieves Guild.
When you've spent as much time in the wilderness as I
Spent enough
have,
time down there to really
it
know.
becomes a part of you. But I just can't do it anymore.
Well, that seems spry enough. Why not?
That I am. I could still outrun a deer if I had to, but it's not about my age. If I went hunting, I might end up falling prey to the hunger. Has anyone ever told you about the hunger?
The hunger? Nope. Something specific to the
That's
Sven tribe?
right. It's not an empty stomach. It's more like a state of mind. It's what happens to Sven hunters who spend too much time in the local woods. During long hunts, they soak up a bit of the weirdness. Not much, just a
Like a
little
bit
trace.
weird.
Not even enough to make you dizzy. But over the years they start to change, becoming more and more like the wild beasts they hunt.
Yeah, I vaguely remember Caleb. Just one brief conversation is about all I've ever really had with the guy. I've had the conversation a few times, but I've never really gone that far. Never really gone that far with the Thieves quest line, so not enough familiarity there to recognise it.
They turn violent, start attacking their own. In the end, they're a threat to the whole tribe. That's
He's
when
concerned
they're
he's going to
cast
go
out
nuts.
into the woods, and the rest of the hunters begin a ritual hunt to free them of the hunger and give them a good death.
Is that why you don't hunt anymore? You're afraid of the hunger?
Aye, and it's not unfounded. The hunger awoke in my own brother.
Did you have to hunt him?
No, nobody knew what was happening except us. One day he came back from a hunt. I looked him in the eyes, and I just knew. He never came back from the next one. He didn't want to force the tribe to hunt him. Didn't want to force me to hunt him. I doubt you'd be able to find my brother after all this time. Besides, the ritual hunt needs the mask of the Huntmaster. It's kept in the barrow of the Horned Shadow, where we lay our fallen hunters to rest. By wearing it, the leader of the hunt is supposed to gain the strength, agility, and experience of the hunters who came before.
Yeah, I tend to get distracted. Lately, or say lately, the last God knows how many years, I tend to not make it far enough to really want to commit to that. I go a handful of quests, get so far through the main story, and there's like, I've played enough and kind of stop and then do something else. But, we'll see. We might get there one day. Perhaps I should go get that mask then.
You can try, but no one's been in there for years. It's probably crawling with all kinds of beasts. So stay vigilant and come back in one piece. And thank you for doing this for me and for Svalric. If you have any...
Kindred curse. So, out there somewhere, there is a mask that I need to find, and then I can use it to hunt his brother. Let's see if Arthur wants to chat first. You have problems with the Stagfather back in your day, too?
Yes, in the homelands. I thought we could leave him there, but he escaped to Avalon.
Great antler beast just hopped on a bike.
He took on human form, or rather he used one of his followers as a vessel. It was only when he sensed that Nimue, Merlin's apprentice, had discovered his true nature that he revealed his real form. The beast grew to the size of a mountain, striding toward the temple his followers had built for him deep in the woods. I dread to think what would have happened if he'd made it there. We barely managed to bring him down, and clearly, not completely.
For that?
I outlawed the Stagfather's cult, but I see that 6 centuries later, it's still around, and surprisingly, among the Dalrita as well. I thought they worshipped only Mathea.
Interesting. And grind out the rest of the bonus thieves squares and fill the sewer with the thieves market square. Yeah, I vaguely remember that's a thing, but yeah. On the to-do list eventually. Sooner or later we'll have to actually play Skyrim, won't we? Sooner or later. Right. Let's roll. There necessities there, I say. Hmm. I feel like I'm missing something. I think I might be in the wrong place here. Rawr, T2, bear. Guild Master set. I do believe I recall that looking quite good, yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the right set, though. Depends what kind of build you're going for. You're going for Stealth Archer, maybe, but... Bloody bears. Bloody animals! Causing havoc. Gobbed on me, the nasty bastard. Dirty boy. Maybe it wasn't the right track. Oh. So. Power of the Horned Shadow. Yeah, there's a few good looking sets actually to pair in that vein, leather style. Skyrim's been whispering to you. I have it permanently installed because I got it so heavily modded, Carl. It's like changing it would be such a big thing to do that I don't do it unless I absolutely have to. Maybe I need to bump Skyrim up our playlist. The male version looks better than the male version. Yeah. Yeah, Dragonbone does get amazing later on in the game. Especially once you've got mods to kind of sort out some of the designs a little bit as well. Because they're a bit weird in vanilla, so... Ooh. Reduces visibility by 40%, presumably to other people, not to yourself. It's quite cool, though. Spot damage. Both quite cool. Does look pretty badass. Some cool sneaky armor up here in this part of the world. Definitely there's something coming down that passageway towards me. Me like thinking of not exactly anti-hero kind of vibes to it, I suppose. That's what I'm thinking of. And on you go. This is creepy. It'll be filled with creatures. You mean the ravenous undead? Ooh, it's another way into the same space. That's cool. It's quite an interesting vibe this space has. Creepiness. I missed a side passage somewhere. I think I have. No, I don't think so. Right. Prism of the Maelstrom. Ooh, interesting. Little snare, a whole bunch of stuff. What we got here? Find the mask of the Huntmaster. Didn't find the mask, but did encounter a Hunger Frost. Ooh, that's an interesting looking beastie. What's the one that was... Stop doing that! I'm trying to take pictures. And it's not going well. Went less well for you. Dives at me, flies past, gets zapped and hits the wall. That was oddly satisfying, you know, at the end. Vampire one, yeah, Dawnguard's good. Can't say I've ever actually gone far with that either, but there's some cool stuff in there. It's one of No Respawn's favourites. He must talk. Sanguinous mod. Interesting. Wouldn't be surprised if I got one or two of his. Maybe one for next year. I think on what games are coming out next year that I might want to play. There's a couple at the end of this year, but not sure after that. Have to have a look in a minute. So it's about time. We're running low on time. Some cool music in this game. Sound definitely does need a little bit of work in the game. Here and there. Nothing end of the world. Still want some over. There's he. No, running for it? Okay. What ifs? Can't really see your character when you're even in third person because you can't spin the camera out at the front. It's look pretty badass though. Although he hasn't actually changed his appearance. I've changed some of the gear I'm using, but not changed the appearance any. Apart from the gloves, I think. Yeah, the gloves are a bit different, but everything else is basically the same, isn't it? Interesting.
Welcome to what's left of it.
Oh, the Bar of the Horned Shadow.
Yes. Did you find the mask of the Huntmaster?
I did not. I did kill a beast and found something that might interest you. I had this ring.
Impossible. That's Falric's ring. He made it from a bone of the first bear he ever killed. I remember it well. I used to tease him about wasting half the bear's skeleton before he finally managed to make something that looked like a ring. How did you do it? How did you track my brother without the mask?
No idea. We thought he died, but then I didn't know it was him. Yeah, if your secrets I have mine. Point is, I never needed the mask to kill the hunger. It wasn't particularly dangerous. No idea.
Are you sure it was Falric? You're either very lucky, or the Stagfather himself guided
Apparently
you
he
to
became
me.
some kind of monster down
Either
there.
way, thank you. You've proven yourself to be
I
an
feel like that was a bit of
excellent
a
hunter.
undercooked quest, that
You've
one.
given Svarric a death worthy of a Dalrita.
Find the
I
thing,
owe you
instead
for
of
this.
finding it, I just found the guy
If you ever need
who'd been turned
anything,
into some kind of monster.
like armor, a weapon, tools, I'll sell to you at a special price. You've made this old hunter very happy, despite the circumstances.
Catch you later, guy. So has he got anything new in his inventory? He does not. Got anything I'd like to get shot off? Yeah. Dealing elemental damage, creates an explosion, dealing damage, applying random elemental stasis to all enemies. That's not really very appealing to me. Walker boots. Oh, cool.
As you can see, I've got a white...
Right. Yeah, that was a smidge on the disappointing side here and there, but okay. On the plus side, it's kind of convenient with regards sort of timing. Right. Okay, so the next quest, I think. I could also have a quick look at maybe see whether or not I could upgrade some stuff. There's a workbench here. What's going on here? Push up the critical damage. Critical damage. Biggest issue. Probably worth it. I don't have that much cash, so I'm going to run out very quickly, I think, of it. Yep, that's me basically out of cash for now. Right. Some upgrades, though. Ooh. Well, there we be having it, or something. Been a bit weird. Ooh. Catch you later, Cal. Crick in the neck there. Yeah, that was alright. I guess we'll presumably figure out how to deal with the Stagfather's, well, arrival, or trap form, or whatever it's going to pan out to be next time, which will be tomorrow, I think. Yeah, what was I going to look at? Oh, I was going to have a look at if there's anything major lined up for next year that I had in mind to play. There's a couple of maybes. Yeah. Exodus as and when that comes out. Blood of the Dawnwalker, maybe. Alkahest looked interesting. Keep an eye on that. Clockwork Revolution, no idea when that's going to come out yet. Intergalactic Heretic Prophets, probably going to be a while. There's a few things lined up, probably next year. Nice to squeeze some stuff in there. We'll have to see how things go, I guess. Play it by ear. One thing at a time and see what sort of news. Because, yeah, we've got stuff to play at the end of the month. Or the end of next month, rather. In the form of The Outer Worlds and... excuse me. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. And then, while we're doing that, doubtless we'll get a whole load of dates and announcements and things coming around about the end of the year for the Game Awards. And after that, we'll see what's happening with next year, I guess. Wing it from there. Because, yeah, things are all a big question mark after that at the moment. There's a load of stuff coming out, but when is the question. And what I'd want to stream and what I'll keep for myself is also another question. We shall see. Yeah, cool stuff happening. Anyway, we'll dive back into this probably tomorrow night, I think. Probably. See how I'm feeling. Yeah, and deal with some beasties. Should be good fun. Working on getting a best builds video together, and I've got an idea for my next camp as well, so I think I may have to play around with that in the next day or two as well. So hopefully there'll be videos coming soon. Best builds are proving somewhat difficult, because finding... I've got a few camps, but I also want to kind of find a couple preferably slightly more cool out there, outstanding ones. The ones I found are good, but something that's kind of, you know, cut above. And I'm struggling on that front. Also, getting things in the daytime that I can actually use for thumbnails, because that's challenging sometimes. So definitely want to push on with that one. But we'll see how that goes tomorrow. So I'll probably work on some of that tomorrow. I aim for a camp build at the end of the week, maybe. Ooh. We shall see. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out. Do hope you've enjoyed. Back tomorrow, I think. Should be good. Well, until then, have yourselves a good rest of your evening. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Have a good day tomorrow. And yeah, those likes, subs, notification bell, all that good stuff. Social media links in the description. Channel memberships below the stream if you want to check those out. And yeah, all that good stuff is very much appreciated. Playlists if you want other things to watch as well. Always good. Loads of stuff around on the channel. But for now, look after yourselves. Thank you for hanging out. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Should be good. Yeah, kind of get stuck. Anyway, here's hoping the computer actually decides to play ball tomorrow. We shall see. But anyway, until then, have a good one. Nah, folks. Not that bun. This bun. You think I'd know by now, wouldn't you?
No.